Bilal, the Prophet, PBUH's caller for prayer, saw Umayyah, and soon all the torture he had been put to at the hand of this man dawned upon him, and swore he would have revenge on Umayyah. Abdur Rahman tried to ease the tension and address embarrassing situation amicably, but with no success. The Muslims gathered around and struck Umayyah's son with swords. At this point, Abdur Rahman called upon his old friend to run for his life, but he was put to swords from different people and lay down dead. Abdur Rahman, completely helpless and resigned, said, "May Allah have mercy on Bilal, for he deprived me of the spoils, and I have been stricken by the death of my two captives." 4. On the moral level, the Battle of Badr was an inescapable conflict between the forces of good and those of evil. In this context, Umar bin al-Khattab did not spare the life of any polytheist, even his uncle on the maternal side, Alas bin Hisham bin al-Mughira. 5. Abu Bakr shouted at his son Abdur Rahman, still a polytheist and fighting with them, "Where is my wealth, you wicked boy?" The son answered that it was gone with the wind. 6. When the battle ended, the Muslims began to hold some polytheists in captivity. The Prophet, PBUH, looked into the face of Sa'd bin Mu'adh, the head of the Prophet, PBUH's guards, and understood that he was hateful to taking the enemy elements as prisoners. Sa'd agreed to what the Prophet, PBUH, said, and added that it was the first victory for the Muslims over the forces of polytheism, and he had more liking for slaying them than sparing their lives. 7. On the day of Badr, the sword of Ukasha bin Misan al-Azdi broke down, so the Prophet, PBUH, gave him a log of wood which he shook, and it immediately turned into a long, strong white sword. Ukasha went on using that same sword in most of the Islamic conquests until he died in the process of the apostasy wars. 8. When the war activities had been concluded, Musab bin Umair al-Abdari saw his brother, still a polytheist, being handcuffed by a Ansari. Musab recommended that the helper tighten the knot, for the prisoner's mother was wealthy enough to ransom her son. Abu Aziz, Musab's brother, tried to appeal to his brother through the family ties, but the latter firmly replied that the helper was more eligible for brotherhood than him. 9. When the Prophet, PBUH, ordered that the corpses of the polytheists be dropped into an empty well, Abu Hudhayfa bin Utbah looked sadly at his dead father, who fought on the side of the polytheists. The Prophet, PBUH, noticed that and asked him about it. Hudhayfa said that he had never held the least doubt that his father met his fate deservedly, but added that he wished he had been guided to the path of Islam, and that is why he felt sad. The Prophet, PBUH, whispered in his ears some comforting words.